The variable speed drives and cows. There's some things you should know about variable speed drives and cows. The first thing, they make it really easy to vary the air going across them so you have the perfect amount all the time. So in the wintertime you can slow it down. It takes a lot less electric. But there is a downside during installation that you have to be aware of to make sure you don't give yourself problems. So cows do not like stray voltage. Variable speed drives, if they're installed improperly, can give you it. Some people chuck the variable speed drive out with the baby out with the bath water. But if you just stay aware of what you're doing, it's not a big issue. So to avoid stray voltage with the variable speed drives and cows, the first step is look where the grounding plate is. Like, always use the grounding method that the manufacturer recommends. Like your power ground comes in here and your motor ground comes in here. Do not bypass it. Bring both ground wires right in here. That's important. If you use shielded cable to the motor, you can make sure you connect the shield back at this end and not at the motor, because you don't want ground loops. One of the big things is getting your shielding put in correctly. Another thing is keep your motor close to the variable speed drive. Do not have the variable speed drive at this end of the barn and the motor at the other. That is asking for trouble. There's filters that come built in the variable speed drive that you can take in or out. Those filters are generally made more for interference, so you don't get interference on AM radios or certain RFID systems. Stray voltage with variable speed drives is separate from radio interference. It's the same problem, but coming at you from a different angle. So we're mainly concerned about variable speed drives and cows is not as much about the radio interference. We're all about not leaving any electric go back on the ground wire, because if you do that, you don't have stray voltage. So the big step number one is have a good ground here, good ground from your breaker box coming here, and from here going to the motor. And bringing two ground wires in is not better. It actually can make it worse. You just want one good ground from your breaker box straight to the VFD, and from there going to the motor. Remember, that is key. Straight from the breaker box to here. Don't have the ground wires zigzagging all over your barn until it gets here. You want to come from the breaker box and just to the variable speed drive, because that is really important to not have ground currents. If you have it zigzagging across the barn, connecting here and there, that is one of the main reasons that these will make stray voltage, is this zigzagging and connecting random places just invites trouble in the door. So that's what I wanted you to know about wiring variable speed drives, is from the breaker box straight here, you have a good ground in here and a good ground going out to your motor, and that will cover 95% of the problems you will run into.